Okay, so I want to let you guys in on something. I'm working on something. I don't really want to call it a project because it's not like my own creation. But I want to switch things up with the channel, as you guys know, and I've been trying to like figure out what to do. And I want to do a series where I kind of try to recreate songs, right? And that includes Ren songs, that includes a bunch of different things. But this is kind of a way for me to not just dive deep into the songs and dive deep into the music, but to also kind of hone my craft on music creation in the sense of editing, production, recording, and editing and mixing. So, I had an idea of, I already went through and did my reaction or revisit of Given Up by Linkin Park. And the next video was supposed to be analyzing the music. I'm still going to do that. But what I really want to do is sort of, I've been conversing with Jesse, and I kind of want to see if we can recreate this together and see how it goes. So I'm going to kind of show you guys what I do. I meant to record this from the beginning of it so you can kind of see how the inception of it and how it works. But since I'm re-recording some of the stuff, I kind of want to show you guys what I do here. So let's show you guys what I have so far. So this is Cakewalk. This is the program that I use honestly for a free, music editor. It has so many features, to be honest with you. I'm actually surprised at the amount of features that it does have. But we'll get there later. I originally recorded this, like I said before, and I had it all edited and was mixing and stuff. Let me show you what I have currently from the beginning, right? The beginning obviously starts with the clapping, so you guys can't hear it. So that's literally the intro, right? Right. So what I did was I re-recorded this part here. What I'm going to do here is completely delete this, because when I recorded it originally, I was clipping in the recording. So for those of you that don't know clipping, when you hear static because the volume is too loud, that's what clipping is, okay? And because of there's clipping from turning the volume 2 up that happens when you're editing and mixing and things, from adding compression and things that lifts the volume up. There's also just clipping from the input of whatever it is, right? So I don't hear any clipping right now. Okay. So we're going to go to this track here. I personally, because of there's a delay when I record, I don't like to hear what I'm recording. So I mute it. I can hear, you're going to hear it a little bit in the mic, but I can hear it. So I can hear it through my headphones. Record counting of about one measure just so I can prepare myself. Okay, so here's what it's going to sound like. We're going to go into this is the chorus. So we're going to go into the chorus here. For you guys as reference, did I close it? I did. Just so you guys know what it sounds like. This is the chorus here. Right? So that's what I'm trying to replicate, but right now I'm just recording the guitar parts, okay? Okay, here we go. So the luxuries of it being a cover, if I can't get this within a few tries, normally I have to like walk away and come back to be on it. I can just play along with the song, right? I had it, mother. Okay, let's try this again. All right, here we go. There we go. I think that was it. Okay. So again, there's a delay, right? So you're gonna see an eighth of a measure right here. So I just cut that, turn snap. So I cut it, I turn snap back on up here, and then I'm just gonna make sure this is right on the money. And then let's listen to it. So there's two things I can do here. I could literally just drag this and that'll be my 2 tracks, or I can record it again, which I think I might do. Get this. So let's do that. Okay. And then we're going to go over here again, cut this as close as possible, drag it over. So now let's listen to both of those and see how it sounds. So somewhere along the line, I got extremely off beat. So what do we do? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to re-record it. Oh, all right, here we go. Okay. And now looking at it, oh, I haven't cut it yet. Let me cut it first. Turn off snap, cut, and drag. Let's see, close. Let's try that and see what that sounds like together. Okay, so somewhere along the line there, I did something different. What I'm doing here, right? I could try to re-record that, just that section and all that fun just stuff. Or I can try and cut it and then splice it and repeat some stuff. Or I can just simply drag it. And move this over because it's way off, I feel like. Let's try that. Okay. Deep. All right. So let's hear that together. Okay. And then I like to cut out any extra stuff that doesn't matter. Okay. So now I know a lot of you guys are saying, well, wait, there's distortion on that. You are correct. Just to kind of hear what it would sound like with some of the distortion. Again, that's just distortion, not even trying to be tuned to LP's or Linkin Park sound, right? So I have this. This is the chorus. So now I think people who've never recorded or anything before, they're like, okay, now I gotta replay that part again later, right? Why? If you get it perfect, if you get it sounding great, you can just drag things over and redo them, right? So, um, mm, 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 mm. Okay, so I messed up here in the sense of these two need to be moved down a smidge. So this track 4 here is going to be like the intro guitar, I guess. Which I think I'm going to end up re-recording. This is that correct? Yeah. So there's two measures of clap, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on 5 it should come in. It looks like it does. So I think we want to move everything over a little bit. So what I'm going to do, how does this sound? Oh, I know. So I didn't like that when I made it. So I think I'm going to use this one here. Right. If I take this and cut that, and then let's zoom way out. I'm going to take this and put it on the bottom just so I can move it over. Right. Zoom back in. Okay. So it normally isn't this janky. The issue is that I already did some recording that I need to fix. So we have, what was it? So we're at 3, right? Oh, mute. So if we go to the beginning, we have the. Too early. Oh, too late. Just right. Okay. Right here. This is where it gets frustrating because I technically need to drag everything over. So we're going to put this on. What is this? Ripple edit, right? I'm going to move. No. Just want this and this to move. Okay, fine. Boom, 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 boom. turn ripple edit off for a sec. And this is off anyway, so delete this. Delete that. And then we're going to take these, put ripple edit back on. Selection. And then move this right there. That's still wrong, but that's okay. I think it needs to go like right there. Let's see what this sounds like. Right. Okay. Poopies. Right here is actually where it needed to be cut. Right there. Now delete this. Now move it over here. Now how does this sound? Okay. Cool. Except I'm gonna still replace these. But it sounds like there could be some fine tuning over here. So if I put snap back on, we're starting perfectly. That's a little early. That's a little early. That's a little early. So what do? Well, turn this off. There's a couple things you could do. Right now, I'm just going to nudge everything over a tad. This is where it gets tricky. Still feel like that came in early, obviously, because of if. Still early. I think it's gonna be like right there. So I have the distortion there just to see how it's going to sound with distortion, because it's going to sound different with distortion than it does without, correct? So if I go here now. Okay. So now what we're going to do, because I actually want this to be just redone instead of what I have, we'll snap it. We'll move this down like this. Oops. Remove that. Turn that off. Okay. We'll take this. I can see what the hell I'm doing. We'll snap it. We'll move it down like so. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and delete it. Take this. Move it over. Let's see how this sounds real quick. Okay, so sound like the one below it is off. So again, I can re-record this. Or I can just simply move it down. Let's see how off it is though and see if I can maybe fix it. If it's not worth it, then I'm not going to do it. That doesn't help. Okay, so right there it's off. Turn off snap because I want to be precise. Right there maybe. And then move it. Sometimes I like to put the playhead right where I want to be. Helps me a little bit for visually. Let's try that. Okay. So I was kind of all over the place with this first one. A lot of times what you can try and do is have it. No, that's not what I want to do either. I'm trying to find the right keybind for it. There you go. So what that does is it stretches it. Let's see if that works. No, it's still off. So I'm going to undo that. Where it gets kind of tricky because is it worth doing all of this and making it maybe sound janky? Or is it worth just re-recording, right? Because now I'm like cutting and splicing. But this is part of it. Honestly, the right thing to do here, especially if you're like in a professional setting, and is to say, let's do it again. Try to keep in tempo, right? This is honestly not going to be a professional thing. I'm just going to put this out on, or we're going to put this out on YouTube most likely. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but I like it to be in sync at least. Bye. Sorry, I had to. That's way off. How did that happen? Let's try now and see what it sounds like. So there's something off here. I think maybe this portion of it. So I'm gonna do what I did before, right? Sometimes it's gonna be too difficult to like get it perfectly. That was off. I'm gonna have to zoom some more. Just right. And again, you can see here too, the more you zoom in, the more precise you can be, right? This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Let's see how it sounds. What just happened? That portion looked off. Where did it go? See, this is also what's causing an issue. The more you zoom in, the more precise you could be. Now, I'll bet you the whole thing's going to be off. This is when it's like, okay, maybe re-recording. it still sounds weird. Why does it still sound weird? It looks perfect to me. Maybe it needs to move over like a slightly. Okay, right there. Nope, that's too much. Whoops. Yeah, so I mean, it's like off everywhere, right? That's the issue. I mean, I could do this, remove that, and then put this over maybe right here. This is where we're getting into like I said before, where is it worth it to do this, or should I just literally double this or re-record it? Now this whole portion's off. Pretty close. Okay, so I think that's pretty close. Let's hear the whole thing though. I think it's pretty close. Pretty close. Something's weird. Hold on. I don't know if that's the top or the bottom. Let me see. Mute the top or mute the bottom. The top. Okay. Let's go and listen to the bottom only. So here's where we get into issue, right? Where like part of the top one is bad, part of the bottom one is bad. Do we mix and match it? Like, what do we do here? I could try re-recording it and see how it sounds. I'm gonna do that real quick and see. Let's see how it sounds. Okay. It felt clunky rhythmic wise. Let's see. Breaking a sweat again. Eh? Kind of. Get rid of the bottom one because that's the one I was trying to replace anyways. Yep. And then move this down. Come on. So one of them is off. Again, I'm going to assume it's the one I just recorded. Again, these are things like how close is this one, right? So if we go to snap here and I go, first of all, let's cut this out. let's try it again. I feel like it's worse. So I can fix that. That's easy. Cut. Too close. Cut. Okay. Do. Should be like right here-ish. Upbeat. Right here-ish. Snap. I'm about to just go. Okay, how does it sound now? They're off still? They're off. So I'm gonna pause the recording real quick while I get this situated, and then I'll be right back. All right. So here's what the song sounds with so far. Right? Sounds pretty clean. The only thing I maybe would do would cut this part out. So guitar style uniform. Perfect. Okay. And I think that plays twice. Go to the beginning. That's twice. Once. So once. It doesn't go back to the E, right? It does not. Okay, so I can cut this part out right here. Hey. Snap it. Make sure I'm cutting it right on the spot. Here. Stop it. Breaking a sweat again. Okay. So without that, let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, cool. And then you have, I don't know how many bars of no guitar. There's bass on there. I'm debating if I want to do the bass. But let me see how many bars. So if I counted right, I think it's 10. So there's 10 bars until that chorus is supposed to come in. So I'm at 11 right now. So that means at 21 when those chorus guitars should come in. 20. Oh boy. I know how to count. Maths. What is this? What the hell is this? Why is that there? I don't know why that's there. I'm going to move that out. Okay. So the whole thing's there. Let's listen to how it sounds so far. Breaking a sweat again. No escape. My own worst enemy. I've given up. I'm suffocating. That's what happened. That for some reason didn't get moved over. Okay. What the fuck? Why the fuck does it sound like that? Okay. Cool. And then we have the next verse. And then there should be again, of course. Which I need to re-record. Yeah, I need to re-record it. So okay, so I did a little tweaking before I started recording, just so there's less messing around and noodling for you guys. But essentially, I have what I need. This is what it's gonna sound like, just plain clean with some compression. But other than that, there's nothing else on it. I'm gonna make sure it's all there. So it did take a little bit of editing where everything is at and noodling. But other than that, we should be fine. So let's go ahead and let's expand these out. And let's listen to the whole thing. Making a sweat again. Do 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 do. Come forward. The chorus. I feel like that's too short, so I might have missed the measure or bar or something. Let me check the actual song and see. Um, that's essentially it. I mean, that's just recording it raw. 309. No, that's about right. So that's just recording it raw. No only thing on here is compression. Now I could go in here, excuse me, and add some compression and some EQ. I'm sorry, I could add some EQ and some reverb and all that jazz. I'm not going to, but I definitely could. But let's do that real quick because just to see the difference in what it sounds like. So let's start with the intro. Okay, so for this part, right, if we listen to the actual song, it's very like lo-fi, almost like it's very much condensed. Right? And then it goes into the major parts. So that I did with this TDR note. Can you guys see it? Yes. This TDR Nova EQ. So let me turn it on. So what it's doing here is I have a threshold here, so it will not let it go above -3 decibels. I have the mids pushed up really high. Actually, let me get rid of the threshold for a second. Yeah. So I have a high pass and I have a low pass. What that means is anything below 100 hertz or 150 hertz is not going to be in. Anything above 5,000 hertz, anything above 5,000 hertz is not going to be in it. So you're going to see it is leaving out a lot in the low end and a little bit in the high end. And then I push the mids extremely high, right? So go back. So basically we're getting this mid-range here. So that's what gives it that lo-fi sound. So just so you can hear the difference. No EQ. There's the EQ, right? I wanted to add, I want to add this here real fast. Oop, it was already there. So this guitar rig here is what I use for basically for my amp stuff. So if I add this, right? So this right here will show you how much of a difference the EQ makes because all the lows are out of it, right? So let's listen to it without the EQ. You have that very bassy, right? But if I want to right? So again, all that could be added in there. I could add some reverb if I wanted to with this guitar. You guys can't see it. Why is that? Just so you guys can see what. Very weird. Anyways, don't worry about what it is. It's just a guitar amp essentially. Then here, right? Nothing on these as well. But if I wanted to, let's do everything with everything. Doot, doot, Let's see how this goes. Right. So again, all of these things are added after the fact. And that's just to show you guys kind of the basics of where I start with kind of the what do you call it? The fixing of the EQ and the sound and all that stuff. There's so many other things you can do. I already have this saturate here, which is on the master. But I have this, there's a bus here, which essentially is you can group some of these tracks together and then control all the tracks in one go, which is a really useful tool. There's so many different things. So I'm going to do another kind of, what do you call it? Video for you guys that kind of going through these tools one by one and just how I use them. I can individually add some drive here. All right, and if I put very subtle, but it's there. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with this. This is all built into Cakewalk. This is no EQ or anything that I added. So that's really cool to have as well. And then the last thing I would want to do if I was doing this on my own is obviously tweak this because it's not the exact sound that I want. But I would actually go into these track 3 and 4 here. So the main guitars. And I would pan the top one about 3/4 or so left. And then the second one 3/4 right. So now you're going to have them spread through the ears. Such a difference. Such a difference. Man, that like right. So now if I go through some of these other portions of the song like this, it's going to be a totally different and amazing what that panning can do and make it sound so much better. I know Linkin Park actually triples the guitars. So they have the left, the right, and they'll actually add a center, right? So if I were to go here, let's go back to just this portion here. And I want to highlight everything there. Actually, I just want to do one of them. Let's zoom for a second. Right. So if I go back here, and just kind of do this, just to show you what I'm talking about, and drag it here. And then I want this third guitar track, or I guess the fourth one. I want to pan it. Where are you? So it's in the center. Right? So now let's see what this sounds like. 1, 2. And I could all, these are EQ'd the same. I could also go in and EQ them a little bit different so that they sound different, right? But Linkin Park's pretty normal for making both guitars sound eerily similar. So that way, you know, when this drop comes in, sounds even heavier that way, right? So again, really cool. The layering and layering makes it sound a lot better. Now there's this, so for mastering, right? And that's a whole nother video in and of itself. But I have this saturation tool here, which you can't really tell the difference until you've kind of practiced it, but it kind of makes things a little bit louder. Right. So I have that. Then there is this, where is it? There is a few different, plugins that I use, but there's one specifically that I'm looking for. Boom, 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 boom. I could actually, if I wanted to, because they're all going to pretty much have the same thing, is add a reverb directly to the master. I don't recommend that, just because you kind of want each track to be different. I could do that if I wanted to. But what I do suggest when you're mastering is to kind of add, I want to do this virtual mix track, is to add another compressor on the master. So you're going to have a compressor on each of them that's specific for whatever instrument you're doing. But then I also think that you should add your own, compressor. I use this is Slate. It comes with a plethora of different things. But what I'm actually looking for here is just this FG2A. So I'm going to get rid of this virtual because I don't need a bunch. I actually just want the specific one. Uncategorized. It's not there. Oh, so this is the one I was talking about. So Ozone. So what this does is it makes it sound more spacious. So like extra surround sound. So if I were to go back here to the beginning, right? I'm going to turn this off. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like once you turn it on. extra stereo. It sounds like it's extra stereo, like it's added some speakers within your headphones. It's a really cool tool that's really great for mastering that I really like. I'm relatively new to it, but I really do like it. But I was gonna do this. I want to do this one, LA2A. So I add this to all my masters. It's essentially to make it sound a little bit cleaner. I mean, you can play around with it, but I don't have a preset for my master right now. I used to, but I set that to limit. Okay, so we're peaking here, right? So there's two things you can do. You can turn the gain down or the peak reduction, or turn the peak reduction up. I like to do a little bit of both. I'm going to turn the gain down by about 5 or 6, and then turn the peak up about 5 or 6. So you're kind of, you want this master here to be right around -3 decibels. I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Okay. Let's go back. The right side is too high. So what happens is, since some of these are not exactly I would say try to keep the gains at least -5. Really where you want to be is, if you're going to use compression, is right around 6.5 I've found, and that's what I've been told as well. But let's do 5 for now. Yeah, it's still pretty loud. I'm just going to bring it down to 6.5, like I said. That's like the bare minimum, to be honest with you. Because compression, if you do it correctly, it's about going to add about 6 to 7 decibels. Still pretty loud here. So you can start turning down the master. I don't like to do that because you're taking away some of the oomph of the song, but we're still hitting on the right side a little too loud. Where's the right one? 666. Let's try that. That's pretty good. So now if I put on ozone with that, this is what it's going to sound like. Right. And if we go to, I want to hear the bridge for this with all of this stuff on it. That's like my favorite part of the song. So let's go right here. So there's one thing I didn't like about that, and that's why you kind of got to play through these, was right here, turn off snap. Right around here, it kind of goes, this guitar goes into the next spot, which you don't want. right? So this is like fine tuning now. But this is why I like to kind of play around with it my own way before I send off a blank track. Because even though you're sending off a blank track, right, and somebody else is going to be mastering this, you still want to hear a little bit what it's going to sound like. There you go. And that's it. So I'm gonna take this ozone off. I'll probably leave the compression on the master and then leave the compression. But everything else comes off for each track. And I'm gonna send it off that way. There's multiple ways you can do this. I've yet to try this, but apparently I can export this. Entire mix. What is this? As a way. Okay, so this is it. So I'm gonna send this off to Jesse, and he's going to actually, actually edit it and master it, and we're gonna see how it turns out. There might be some edits along the way, but I think this is gonna be really cool. I gotta ask what bitrate he wants, 24 or 32. And then I'll send it off and he'll master it way better than I can because he has more experience. But this is kind of what I do on my end of the thing. So I'm very green. So it takes me much longer than somebody else, but this is what it would be. It's very cool to kind of see the process, I think. So this is the kind of stuff I'm going to be putting on the Patreon of me kind of going through the process of editing and recording and all that stuff. And I'm excited to share that with you guys. But I have to still create a new song. I've yet to write it out yet. So when that comes, I will post the updates and kind of my process along the way on the Patreon, which is what that's there for. But this is kind of a look into it. So I appreciate the love and support. And please do remember that good vibes are contagious.